Who was the true author of the U.S. Constitution? Well, according to Charles Pickney, it wasn't James Madison, it was Charles Pickney. Wait, what? Yeah, let's hear Charles Pickney out for a second. So we hear about the Virginia plan and the New Jersey plan, we hear about the Hamilton plan, but actually there was a fourth plan, the Pickney plan. The problem is, we don't know anything about it because the secretary for the Constitutional Convention, his name was William Jackson, and he sucked at his job. And Madison, from whom we get basically all of our information about the Constitutional Convention from his notes, just kind of conveniently forgot to include any details of Charles Pickney's plans, which is interesting for a man who took like obsessive notes. So we don't know any of the details. The only thing we know is that decades later, Charles Pickney will produce this document, which looks remarkably similar to the finished product, the finished U.S. Constitution, and say, look, I'm the true author. Look how close my version is to the final version. Okay, it's hard to take Charles Pickney seriously. I mean, this was a man who was deeply in love with himself. He was so vain that he lied knowingly until his dying day that he was the youngest participating member at the Constitutional Convention, when in fact he was the second youngest member and he knew it. So was he the principal author? No. But he was remarkably influential in its slavery compromises, particularly the Fugitive Slave Clause. Charles Pickney was also deeply influential on the South Carolina Constitution, including its provision requiring property ownership for members of the state legislature, meaning that South Carolina basically had an all-slave-owning legislature in the lead up to the Civil War. So Charles Pickney was not the author of the U.S. Constitution, but he may have helped cause the U.S. Civil War.